Literally listen to the song, amazing. Like, it was good. Like, probably it's my favorite song personally. You already know that.
Yeah, like when I showed you and Ethan the song, and I think Elmo was there too.
Yeah, he was.
Like you guys were like, "Oh my god, the song's so good," and I was just like, "Are they just fucking saying that?" And then the more like I lived with the song, I was like, "Yeah, the song is actually pretty good." Because I make a lot of music, and then like it might sound good for like the next 2 days, but the more I live with the music, the more it's like, okay, this is actually something, you know?
Yeah, I know because you love to make amazing music and not put it out. I don't know why you do that. I tell you, always put like these amazing tracks that you have in the vault. You need to show them, bro. Show that to the world. The people are not ready.
I know, it's just more like once it's out there, it's like you can never get it back. Even if you take it off, like people like will know that song still existed. So it's like, you know, more it's about being protective. Like I want to put good things out, but I would say I'm becoming less and less possessive over the music and just understanding like less ego. Like, you know, I'm just a fucking messenger for what the music is. Like the music lives through me, and I'm just supposed to make the music and put it out, and like that's just what it is. You know, less of this is Santino and this is just music type shit. So learning how to live with that is what I've really become like fond with.
Well, that's good. That's good because the beat on that one, bro, it's probably the best beat you made.
Bro, nah, there's some crazy beats that I have sitting in. I gotta show you another one. It's pretty fire. It's pretty crazy.
Okay.
No, the one I showed you guys yesterday, I thought that one was pretty crazy.
That one was
With
good. I like that one, but dude, the Crimson one, like, I don't know why. It's just like maybe personally because I like that type of music. Like the beat is so smooth. It's so I'd say like almost sexy. You know, no homo though. Like
no, we do sexy shit all the time out here. I'm doing sexy
you do
music.
that is kind of your lane in music. Like I've been noticing you do a lot of like of making music low key or like sensual, sexy rap. That's not really. It's not like a Drake kind of like singing and everything. Like it's still like hard rapping, but you're still, you know, very like almost if you're like trying to caress a woman or something.
Well, that's exactly like I want to caress a woman to my music. Like that's what I'm going for, but. Because I rap, bro. I don't sing. And then it's just like sonically, I want my shit to sound different. So when I'm like making beats, I'm very aware of like, you know, what sounds I'm selecting and like, you know, how I'm going about this process because it's very particular. I want my shit to sound different. You know, I'm a different type of individual. When you talk to me in real life, I'm a different type of individual and I want that to reflect in the music. And I want the music to be an extension of life that I live, you know. So I try to like, you know, put as much life into music as I can.
Yeah, your music is probably very, I would say it's very easy to recognize. It's very recognizable. Very recognizable. Like there's no one that makes music like you do, honestly. You're like almost in your own lane. Like I couldn't compare you really to anybody because there's no one makes music the same way you do. So I think people are going to be really, really interested in the stuff you got coming out.
Nah, yeah, I really appreciate you saying that actually because like fucking, I'd say it'd be, in music, it's so easy to be influenced and then have that influence show and it like almost like you seem like a cheap replica of that person. And it's like I listen to so much like music and rappers, it'd be like earlier in my like career, I'd say like it was like so apparent that like I was an Earl fan, and I'd say I really like you know, shed that skin and you know become into my own artist, my own man. Even though Earl's still like top of the fucking ranks for me, you know, it's become like it was a weight on my shoulders. Like, yeah, this is the type of music Earl makes, and you love it, but you need to make your own music and like shine in your own lane. And I say like I really started to do that type shit.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. And I can't really say that you wear your inspirations on your sleeve. Like they're like we know you love people like Earl, or you're inspired by you love Freddie Gibbs and all them, but you still are able to like make your own lane while you have those influences on your back.
I'd say that like I'm able to do that just by like constantly challenging myself. Like whether it's like, okay, you've been like a flow I'll use a lot is like da na 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 na. Like so, okay, you use that flow. Now maybe slow it down, or like you know just constantly challenging myself. Or like okay, you rap on these drums a lot, try different drums. Or like you rap on this tempo a lot, maybe slow down the tempo or pick up the tempo. Or sonically like you know. You've been using a lot of synths, maybe like try to chop something, or like instead of chopping something, maybe go percussion heavy this time, or you've been relying too much on percussion, you know. Just like finding new avenues to exist in, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I definitely hear that in your music too. Like a lot of the tracks when you show them, they're not the same as the other ones. You could tell like they're different. They almost sound like if they're off like different albums, different cuts, honestly. And it's crazy how much you've improved over a short amount of time. Because I remember a couple months ago we were listening to songs and they were good. They were good.
She was mad buns, son.
They weren't buns, but they were good, and we could see that you're getting there. But then like I remember like probably like 2-3 months ago, I think you started showing us.
It started to click.
It started to click, and I was like, whoa.
Shit's crazy.
Whoa, like this is like you were like down. I mean, you were like a foot off the floor. Now you're like 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, whoa, what is this change? What happened during this time? Like,
man, I just say it's just like dedication to the craft, bro. Because like I've been taking it seriously. I can tell you exactly when I started taking it serious. It was like fucking 6th period in sophomore year. I was like
that early.
It was that early. Like I was rapping, but I wasn't taking it serious. I was just like, and I literally had thought to myself, I was like, there's some kid in Philadelphia right now that like is taking it more serious than you, and he's gonna make it, and you're not because you don't take it serious. At that moment, I picked up my pen and paper and just started rapping, and then from there it was just like game on. Like I was just like obsessed with like the craft of rapping, so I became a really good rapper at writing. But then I had to work on my delivery, and then from like being able to deliver a verse now you're really good at rapping, but you're not good at making music and making songs. So then I had to like take a step back and be like, now you have to be good at making songs and music as opposed to just being a rapper, Because you want, of course, like at my core, I'm a rapper, but just because you're good at rapping doesn't mean people are gonna play your music. Like battle rappers, like they're good at rapping. I couldn't name you one fucking Loaded Lux album. I can't.
That is true. Yeah,
sorry, bud. So being a good rapper and being a good artist is two different things.
Yeah, and you always want to be a rapper since I knew you since like what? I think around 4th grade is when I knew you, but I remember you talking a lot about rapping in like 6th, 7th grade. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna be a rapper. Yeah, I'm gonna be. And I always ask, what happens if rap doesn't pan out? Like,
there is no not panning out. It's like I gotta find a way to eat off this, bro. Like, the more I get older, the more I think like, damn, like I've really like put my eggs in one basket, because it's like I see guys in college and guys different they're going through different avenues, and it's like I've really like put my, and that's why I say it started to click, because it's like I really just like focused in and was like I've been locked in, like what, like you gotta make this work now, bro. So it's like make it work type shit. Like you're 20, there's no going back, fucking ball out. So that's what I do, I ball out.
Yeah, right now it's literally shout out 50 cents is do or die.
For real. Get rich or die trying.
Get rich or die trying, bro. So like, yeah, because I mean you could there's always a chance you could change your careers if you wanted to, but like, how can you not be a rapper, bro? How can you not? How can you even imagine yourself not being a rapper?
I couldn't imagine myself being anything else. I couldn't.
Like, I don't even see it.
That's not my character. My character is to rap.
Yeah.
So, but you know what song I am excited to drop, bro?
Which one?
The fucking Pockets is Zorka, no love like an orphan, more power than Rangers. It's time for that morphin. That shit look go Tina. That shit's fire, bro. No, we added more vocals on that bitch, so it sounds like I'll show you in a second, but that shit sounds crazy. Okay. The beat on that shit is just so lovely, bro. I think that was a real banger.
Alright, we'll check it out right now. Shoot.
Plays clip.
No, we're not gonna. You guys don't get the music right now.
When it releases, we're in April. It should drop in like May. That's just crazy though.
Nah. We're dropping that in December. You guys gotta really wait.
When people get the music though, like I'm already ahead on other shit, because I finished Crimson back in like early March. We're in mid April, so it's not gonna drop for like a month and a half later. Like I'm already ahead of schedule. Like when people are getting music, it's already late to me. Like I'm already on the next thing.
But like, do you ever want to get to a point where you're releasing like music constantly, so you can continue to produce and show your fans? Like what's the goal?
The goal is to like, okay, so just in the era we're in, right? Because that's a big thing. You have to dominate your era. Even it doesn't matter what it is. We look at basketball. Michael Jordan's the greatest because he dominated his era. LeBron is one of the greatest because he dominates his era. So we're not in the 90s, bro. This isn't the mixtape era. We're in the era of content. People want to see content in their face. So what I've done is like, all right, album's cool. Album's great. Okay. But album is a one-time drop. Okay. Stack up music. And you're going to have so much music. You're going to make so much music. And let's say you make 100 songs. Out of that, let's just say 20 are like solid. And you drop a song every 2 weeks. That's like fucking however many months and weeks of fucking constant, you're in their face, like new drop. So that's my goal, is to like show people like new music.
All the time. But you do want to release an album at some point.
Of course, well, as you're making that music too, because with the album, I want an album to feel cohesive and not just like a random fucking song selected, So as you're making singles, you're also making an album with other shit. You know, because you're making so much music, there's so much volume that you could just make, you know, grab what you need and boom, consolidate that to an album. So not really a particular like the goal isn't make an album. It's more of a byproduct of just making music. You see, and the album will form itself. You could say.
Do you ever want to be like? Of course, you want to be recognized for your work, but do you ever want to get Grammys? Is there ever a goal for something like that?
Grammys isn't the goal. Goals is just to feed myself and like feed my family and like build a fan base and like build a legacy and make a living. You know, that's the goal. That's all I need. You know, if the Grammys come, that's great. It's never that's never like a point of emphasis though. Like, oh, I'm trying to get Grammys. Never a point of emphasis.
Any dream collabs?
Alchemist dream collab, like Alchemist album, Rock Marciano. That's like dream right there. Like Rock Marciano production, Alchemist production. Rappers, Earl, I guess, you know, but with like rappers, I noticed that like you can't just like put a rapper on there because you like it. Like they have to fit the tone of the song too. Yeah. So you know, if it makes sense, but I mean, we know Al got them beats, we know Rod got them beats, so you know those two definitely hop on their shit. That shit would be crazy.
That would be crazy. That'd be great.